So welcome back to another YouTube video. Today I am taking a day trip to Milan to get some new pieces for my fall wardrobe. And I thought it might be fun to take you along with me. I've never been to Milan, so I'm actually really excited. The part of Italy where I'm staying in right now actually doesn't have a lot of shops or vintage clothing shops. So I'm really excited to be able to go like proper shopping again. This is gonna be more of a vlog style video, so if you like that, just let me know. I woke up at 5:30 and I did my skincare, as you can see. My first train leaves at 6:20 and it takes me about half an hour to walk from my house to the train station. This was my outfit of the day. I actually ended up changing the shirt, but I put on these pants because they were thin but still long, and then I brought a sweater and a t-shirt because in the morning and the evenings it's really cold, but during the day it's going to be really hot, so I wanted to just have something that was a little adaptable. I left the house at like 5:50, so it was a little later than I planned, but I still ended up making it on time, thank goodness. It was still pitch black outside. Honestly, walking through the city this early was really nice. It was so quiet and peaceful and pretty much no one was around. I did see a few people when I got to the train station that were like coming home from going out, but in the city itself it was so nice, like the river at night. The first train departed at like 6:20 in the morning, and I was just sort of organizing the specific shops and vintage markets that I wanted to go to because I didn't know exactly where they were, so I wanted to plan out sort of my trip a little bit. After half an hour I got to the first stop, which was Bolzano, and I had a half-hour layover. Can you say layover with trains? I don't know. But I decided to go and get some breakfast. This was just a little cafe in the train station, but everything they had was so good. I got a cream croissant and a cappuccino. And here I am checking the train time. So my train was on time and leaving at 7:30 a.m. By this time it was brighter outside. The second train trip was about 2 hours long, and I mostly did schoolwork and I really enjoyed the scenery. I honestly had a lot of schoolwork to do over the weekend, so I was kind of stressed. But then we arrived at the second stop, which was Verona. I had a short amount of time in the train station as well, so I got myself something to drink and went to the bathroom. And then went to go stand and wait for the train. This train was actually really cool because it had like 2 stories. I didn't realize that until I was already in there, but I did go on the second story on the way back. And pretty much I just did more schoolwork, and this train ride was about 2 hours long as well. And then finally at 11:30 I got off the train and we arrived in Milan. Honestly, the train station in itself was so gorgeous. Like, it was so huge and spacious and so pretty. It was a Saturday, so there were so many people there, but that kind of was expected. At this point I was actually already hungry, but the first shop was in walking distance, so I decided to go there first. It was called Indico, and it was a vintage and second-hand store. Honestly, it was a pretty big store and they had quite a bit of stock. I spent a lot of time here, and as you'll see later in the video, I tried a lot of stuff on as well. The accessories at this store were kind of insane too. They had some great jewelry, belts, bags. I don't really know if I'd wear pants like this, but they just looked so unique and cool. I just had to like give them a second look. It doesn't translate that well on camera, but these had like a gorgeous green wash. And these are a pair of Levi's with also an extremely cool wash. They just were a little too small for me. I'm loving like a darker denim for fall, and I was kind of really wanting a dark denim jacket because I have a lighter Miss 61, but I really want a dark wash denim. I ended up not getting this one just because of the price. I feel like I can probably find one for cheaper on Vinted. Honestly, the skirt section really came through. I found 2 different parachute maxi skirts and this diesel midi dark denim skirt. I think my favorite part of the whole store though were the jackets, and that was the primary thing that I was looking for this trip. I really wanted a winter jacket. The t-shirt section was insane as well. Like, a look at this top. It's by a brand called Titty Twister, and it was just like this really cool pattern. This mesh long sleeve. I love the colors. I love the graphics for fall and the boat neck. I tried on this gray parachute maxi skirt with like the toggles, but I just feel like it did not look flattering on me at all. Then I tried on the diesel midi skirt, and I honestly was in love with it. I love the wash. I love that it had like those 2 slits on the side. It just kind of sat kind of like mid-rise, and I feel like I would want more something low-rise, but I literally tried it on twice because I was so tempted. Also, this is another one of the maxi skirts. It's like a black windbreaker material sort of. It had like a little detail at the waist. I loved the cutout. Like, oh my god. And then the zipper detailing on the side and the bottom was gorgeous. I tried that one on twice as well. After trying on the first few things, I went to go look for some more. I actually found these Wrangler jeans. They just did not fit how I wanted them to. Like, they fit well, but I don't like jeans that are cut like this. And then I found probably one of my favorite purchases like ever. These are G-Star raw jeans in the most gorgeous dark denim wash with gorgeous like zipper details, hardware. Just looks so good. I love these, and they fit perfectly. They're pretty low rise, which I love, but they're also comfortable. Like, I can move and sit in them without feeling like restrained. But these next ones were a different story. These were like some glittery green blue pants. They were really adorable, but the way they fit, like, it's a Y2K vibe, but it is not for me. I don't like how tight they were. And then I tried on these diesel black jeans, but the waist was huge, and then it got like skinny at the bottom, so the legs weren't even baggy. And yeah, just not it. One of my primary goals was to find a leather bomber jacket, and this one was actually really cute. I think the condition was just not that great. It looked so good with the maxi skirt though. After securing the bag, I was literally starving at this point, so I went to an Italian restaurant, like authentic Italian. I got the best bread with it, and I got these gnocchis with a homemade sauce. After eating lunch, I decided to rent a bike because the next few stops were a little further away, and the bag was low-key killing my shoulder. This is me trying to film and drive. I'm gonna be honest, it was pretty hard. On the way to the next destinations, I stopped at the Duomo, the Cathedral, and I went inside the shopping mall thing that was right next to it. Inside were primarily like designer stores, well-known brands. It was just so huge and beautiful, and that is the Cathedral. As you can see, there were a lot of people, but it was definitely worth seeing. Then I hopped back on my bike and got back on track because it would take me about 15 to 20 minutes to get to the next destination. I dropped the bike off and walked to the next store, which was called Thrift Shop. This one was quite a bit smaller than the first one and harder to find, but the pieces were still really good, especially the skirts and the tops. This denim midi skirt with like a lace trim on the bottom really intrigued me, as did like these trousers with like the faded coloring on the front. Other than that, honestly, none of the pants really stood out to me or looked like they would fit me. This store also had like a lingerie sleepwear section with some gorgeous corset tops and more lacy frilly pieces. I got the most excited when I got to the tops. There were some amazing patterns and mesh vibes. I loved this fard top with the dragon and the lettering, and this Cavalli top. I really regret not getting it, but it was an XL. This plaid button-up was so cool, but just not my style. Then I went ahead and walked over to some of the flea markets that were nearby. The first didn't have much, a few coats that were somewhat interesting. I loved the jewelry though. They had such an amazing selection of jewelry. I also stopped by Humana Vintage, which was more of like an actual authentic thrift store with pieces that you would see more at like Goodwill. It was a pretty big store and there was a great variety of pieces. Lots of midi skirts, and I even found this black ruffle maxi skirt, but it kind of gave me like witch vibes. Then I found another market with pretty much, it was just piles of clothes for a specific amount of euros, like 1, 3, 5, and pretty much I just dug through these bins to see if I could find anything. One shop had this Morgan leather zip up and it was amazing. I was honestly so close to getting this zip up. I love the colors and the writing and the design, just like everything. It was just a little big on me, and I kind of would have preferred that it be like more tight and like make me snatched, if that makes sense. Some of them even had like some pretty good brand pieces like Adidas and Lonsdale. Then I rented this little scooter to drive back to more like central Milan. I wanted to look at some of the shops that they had there. At this point it was around 5:30, so most of the vintage stores were closing. So I decided to go to Urban Outfitters. I saw it earlier, I passed by it while on the bike, and I just wanted to take a look around. I haven't been there in a while, and I just wanted to see kind of what pieces they had. I've honestly loved Urban since I was like, 16, 17, and I've only been to an Urban in Europe once, but this was like a 3-story Urban, and it had this vintage collection which was basically a collection of reworked vintage pieces. These were some cute corset tops. I already have an Urban Outfitters corset top though. And I found this sweater that very much gave me like Diesel vibes. And it's honestly really cute, but I kind of feel like I have something similar. So these red pants I actually have on my wish list, so I decided to try them on today. I also wanted to find like a dark wash like baggy jean, but I couldn't really find any that I loved. This was in the vintage section. I love this maxi skirt. I'm really mad that I didn't try it on. And they had some amazing patterned like tank tops. I tried on the screen print lingerie top and the red pants, and I honestly loved both. The top was kind of big, but I really liked it, so I was really considering getting it and maybe having it hemmed or something. I don't know. I also tried on this black silky maxi skirt. It just was really thin, so definitely not a fall piece, and I feel like it was not flattering on me at all. I really want some pinstripe pants for the fall. I got these capri length ones, but they just weren't convincing me that capris look good on me because I don't have any. And then I got the longer version, which looked better, but I somehow got a size large, so obviously they didn't really fit. Then I went back and got a size small in the pinstripe pants. I'm sorry you cannot see them that well here, but they fit better. They just weren't straight leg like I wanted. I also found this like plaid skirt, which I thought would be cute for the fall, but I don't know, the way it looked on me and the really thin material just was not it at all. I wanted to leave for the train station about an hour before my train left, just to make sure that I got there in time, because knowing me, there would be some complication or some issue or something. But I decided to bike over there, and this second bike was so nice to drive. I literally had such a good time just like driving through Milan, and yeah, it was really nice. You can tell because I took so much footage of me just driving in Milan. When I got back to the train station, I was like dying of thirst, so I got something to drink, and then I went to this Five Guys. I got a veggie sandwich and a milkshake. It was kind of expensive, but there wasn't really many other options. So I secured the bag, and here I wanted to show you my arm from carrying all the bags. Then I had my milkshake. This was banana with whipped cream. And this was the burger. It looks weird, but it was so good. And then I pretty much just did schoolwork until I got home.